Well, good afternoon. Thank you for standing out here and braving this coming rainstorm. You know, we're the NAACP, and we're used to storms. Ladies and gentlemen, let me hear you say, Trayvon's the last one. Trayvon's the last one. Trayvon's the last one. Trayvon's the last one. That is the message for this department here today. That is the message for our community today. It is time that we save our sons. It is time that we end racial profiling. And it is time for George Zimmerman to be brought to justice. So I won't keep you long because it's going to start raining on all of us. And like most of you, I ain't got a raincoat. But when you go home today and they say, what was this about? Say, we were there to make sure that Trayvon's killer was brought to justice. And when you go home today and they say, well, what do we do now? Say, do you belong to the Urban League? Do you belong to the National Action Network? Do you belong to National Council of La Raza, or the National Organization of Women, or a union, or the NAACP? And if they say no, they say, then join something. And if you don't know what to join the NAACP. Or if you want to be part of a century-long fight for justice with the baddest batting average in the country, join the NAACP. Because there are two types of power in this country. There is organized money, pushing these crazy stand-your-ground laws across the country, and there's organized people fighting back. And if you ain't one or the other, your power is real weak. So we got to get organized. And then they'll say to us, and then what do we do? In this year of all years, we need to register as many people to vote as possible. And when they say why, when that brother on the corner says, well, why should I register to vote? Say, well, son, if you haven't noticed, the criminal justice system is running your life rather than this community running the criminal justice system. You know, when slavery ended, black folks were about twice as likely to be incarcerated as white folks. When the civil rights movement ended, black folks were about twice as likely as white folks to be incarcerated. And here we are today, and we're 5 times as likely. We're 5 times as likely. So that young man who's afraid of going to prison and maybe been there before, you explain to him, son, you can't pick who the sheriff is unless you're registered to vote. You can't sit on a jury unless you're registered to vote. You can't pick the boss of the police chief unless you're registered to vote. So let us go home. Let us build a movement to save our sons. And let us get everybody registered to vote, because it's time for us to be in charge of the justice system rather than this injustice system being in charge of us. Thank you and God bless.